let's go ahead and get started here. I'll talk about that while we go. We'll go get King Coon's thing going. But they had a sealed copy of God Hand for the PS2. I was like, please give me that. Oh, good lord, no! He's not one of those guys now, is he? Oh god, no.
Amazing.
Thanks for cheering for me.
You're a real hit with the ladies.
I'm gonna get going for today.
Okay, you better be this good next time, too.
Leave it to me.
Oh, dear lord. I thought they condemned the building they were in.
I'm home, Karamoto.
Unless that just happens to look the same. That looked like the front lobby of it, though. But, they had a sealed copy of God Hand. I asked for that. Christmas Nights into Dreams for the Sega Saturn. I really wanted that. Let's see, what else? There was a Wonder Swan Tekken card game I asked for, too. Damn it, there was a lot of things. I can bring up my Whisper conversation, actually see what it was. I can't remember everything. I remember there was a lot of things I asked. Let's see. But with the increased students, they decided to reopen. Oh, so it explains it right there. They reopened the dorm. So they were going to destroy it, and they reopened it. So that worked out. Let's see. Okay, so the things I asked about was... Oh no, Ken is a chat! Oh, no, yeah, that's a good one. Brain Lord for the Super Nintendo. I saw that too. It's not very well known as a good game, but it is an Enix title that was published. I've been wanting to get a copy of that. The Magic Way Knights, I think is what it's called. It's like a Sailor Moon-esque thing by the people who made Trebits and that. There was an RPG on the Sega Saturn, the English version, but this was the Japanese version. It was really cheap, so I was like, sure, I'll get that. I have a lot of Japanese Sega Saturn games anyway. Cookies and Creams for the PS2. Let's see how it said. Oh yeah, they had a copy of Skyward Sword, which is one of the few Zelda games I don't have a copy of. And I've been meaning to get a copy, but GameStop copies are always fucking garbage. They do a really good job on their discs and stuff. So they had a copy. I think it was $22. So on Amazon they're like $33. So I was like, sure, why not? I added Skyward Sword and yeah, the Tekken fight. Oh, and Hyperdimensional Noir Goddess Blackheart for the Vita. Oh, the English War of the Magic Nightway, yeah. Yes, those are... The English version of that is very, very expensive, so... very costly, but Japanese version, very cheap. Let's see, I finished on Saturn. The Japanese version's pretty easy to play. Oh, did Walking Design that change the difficulty? Interesting. To be fair, that doesn't usually go very well. Yeah, the Nep Nep strategy game. Top Nep. I've been meaning to get that one. They had it, and it was about $10 more online, so I was like, sure, why not? I'll throw that one in. So I'm probably expecting to spend like probably $100+, sadly, if I get all that. Like I explained, the pad, they have a very force come, force solve, unless they have multiple copies, and then, you know, if there's enough, then it's good, but usually, you know, for obviously a lot of titles that people are going to be asking for, they're not going to have usually a whole bunch of versions of it. So if I get all that, I'm probably going to spend, because God Hand, I didn't get a good look at the price, but I think it said $50 or $60, which a loose copy goes for about $70, $80. So it's a sealed copy. So if I saw that price wrong and it's really expensive, I'll probably just ask to remove it. They said, because, you know, sometimes they're only showing spine, so you don't see the price. They just say to ask for it, and if you feel like the price is too much or something, or you don't like it, you can ask for it removed. So I just asked for it. I think I saw it for 50 or 60. I'll go with that. God Hand is hard to get. Like, I seen a copy of it before. It was probably one of the most fucking destroyed discs I ever saw in my life, and it made me want to cry. It literally would make me cry. Actually, that's a good point. How old is he? Like, I mean, what's the average life for a dog? Like 13 years? That's actually a good question. How old is he? Because when you think about, they would have to eventually face the fact that he is, you know, going to probably be. What's the oldest living dog? I'm sure there's a world record for that. I'm kind of curious on that. The NEP game. See, I mean, you don't need a yeah, it's a pretty basic RPG from what I understand. I've played a number of Japanese games in Japanese RPGs with no English. So, I'm not a complete stranger, but obviously some games can be a little difficult. Mother 3 was, oddly enough, a really easy game because all the items had icons, so it at least gave you an idea what things were, so that's good. So, the limited version came with a nice slipcase. I don't think I've seen the limited edition of that.
It's nothing, Koromaru.
Yeah, I just could actually talk to the damn dog. Weird enough. You would think we made an anti-shadow weapon that can communicate with animals. Perhaps we should use this to our advantage. But it's like, let's not touch on that. Like, we can't use that to somehow understand dog. He wasn't in the dancing game, so he's too old to groove. I do find it odd they didn't fit him in the dancing game. It is a real disservice to him, because he is part of the party. I understand it would have probably been hard, but considering, like, look at fucking Fox dancing in Persona 5. You telling me that was fine? Like, when you do the blooming villain stage and you look at how Fox dances, you telling me that was fine, but you couldn't figure out a way to make the dog walk, like, do, like, weird tricks and things. Maybe just give him a weird little obstacle course thing that would be cool tricks to do during the song. I don't know. I mean, is Fox dance even based on anything? Yes, this is a very lovely theme from the original Persona 3. It really, like, gives me a very nostalgic feeling to a lot of the emotional scenes in Persona 3, and that's probably because it's used for a lot of the emotional scenes.
Even if she gave me this, I know it's just for show. I bet everyone else is working hard right now.
It seems like he feels kind of like I don't get to do anything. Like, how are the animals or the mascots for the dancing games? Well, a lot of people would say Igus and the dog will kind of a tie popular character for 3. But obviously, I think most people would say Igus because the waifu-ness. You know, it's like, that's a dog, that's a robot chick. Obviously, robot chick beats dog, bro. And no one... I remember, I always forget how to say his name when I don't hear it very often now. It's just not a very simplistic name. But I remember him. I sadly can remember also a lot of his faults as a party member, because he was like Notokun, where he had death spells, so he sadly wasn't super useful for the final boss. But still a good party member, though. Could be very useful for the dungeon crawling, especially when enemies were weak. If I remember correctly, he had cursed type death spells. I don't think he had light ones. I think Ken had light ones, and the dog had the cursed ones. Yeah, nostalgic. I often listen to the ending theme with the lyrics. I mean, they all have very good music. I mean, if I like about half of the P3 cast. Like, I don't hate, but I mean, like, I'm not a fan of all the characters. I felt like... I don't necessarily... I think it had to do with the subject matter. Like, you know, it dealt with dealing with life and death and things, and having a lot of character confliction issues, as the cast did in the original game, makes sense for the story, but that kind of also hurt me liking someone. Like, look, I understand Ken obviously isn't a very emotional kid. You know, he watched his parents be murdered by a persona of a guy who's on a team and didn't understand the situation and shit, and then watched that guy die trying to save him and shit. You know, I understand Ken would probably be an emotional fucking wreck. But I still didn't really like Ken very much. Like, as a narrative tool, I think it was good. But as a character, I just felt like Ken was kind of wasn't exactly one of my favorite people. I just use Yucatan for healing anyway. So it's just, And now he's one of those all the chicks love him type, which just actually hurts liking him anymore. It's like, this is your time of redemption to make me like you more, Ken. You've ruining it. Cold and Chuck Clunk's Woba love making the best Clanky. Not what I meant, but what I'm just saying.
I'm a member too, you know.
And then the helicopter comes and picks you up, and you go, whee! And it is amazing he was able to use a fucking spear, though. Like, he's like a 12-year-old in the original game? Like, good lord. You have to have some really good balance and shit to use. Because he's not just using a normal spear. He's using, wasn't he using one of those kind of... It's like a sword spear hybrid. It's not like just a little tip spear. Like, didn't he use one of those kind of weapons where it's like a pretty good lengthy blade on the end of a stick? I think. Maybe I'm misremembering and it was just a plain spear. But I think... I haven't been called, and I doubt I ever will. That damn lady just wants me to go to school.
I'm just for show too.
Man, he must really still be emotionally scarred, man. And even taking part in the student council. Good lord. Talk about following in the footsteps of Senpai. Man, he's really being ate up by this. Good lord. Like, I think you're like developing into Natsukun's issues
Making
now.
my life my own is actually pretty hard. Sometimes I lose sight of what I'm supposed to be doing. It's completely dark now. We should head back home, Koromaru.
It doesn't look completely dark according to the artwork behind you. I still have to wonder, during the events of Persona 5, what the hell were all the other characters doing, though? I still wonder about that. I mean, I couldn't imagine, like, them just be like, yep, Tokyo turned into a living hellhole. Well, I'm just gonna keep walking around there a bit. It's a helicopter. Although, like, I'm not really too familiar, but I think there are all laws about helicopters flying around in Japan. I don't think you could do that very willy-nilly. Because, you know, Japan's a very, like, you know, like, they don't usually appreciate you being very loud everywhere. Do you know how long Persona 5 happens after P3? I do know we talked about that one time when we looked at the television. It was talking about, we say, turning to a certain age. And by using that, we were able to figure out what year and how long it's passed between Persona 4 and 5. But that was a really long time ago, so off the top of my head, I do not remember. But it does tell you in Persona 5 how old we say just turned into. So you could probably Google that. I'm sure there's probably a topic or something talking about it. But off the top of my head, I don't remember what the numbers were. But as for Persona 3, you could probably do something similar. Oh, I honestly don't remember the years off the top of my head. I would assume you could probably find the modern ages. Maybe even the original ages. You would just need to find someone's age in P3. I'm sure they probably can find some ages, but it wouldn't be as easy. It just would help give you the Let's see. Arena is supposed to take place after Golden, because Maria shows up in the beginning of the P3 cast's version 2. So the arena has to take place after Golden. Oh, but did you hear about I heard about last night. I shared it with Dan. I was actually kind of shocked to hear about that the English version ain't going to be getting a dub. That ain't game breaking to me, but like that seems really sad to me that I won't get to hear some of my favorite voice actors in the Persona games interact with each other. Like, you have, especially with P5, such a fantastic cast. You have, of course, the P4 cast has a very good cast. P3, debatable.
Let's go, Koromaru.
How's the dog going to get up? Isn't that a fair question? Well, wasn't this a convenient twist? I was thinking about how worthless I am, and all of a sudden I'm being useful. Well, I've seen the, oh, and there's Junpei. Junpei. But, I have seen different discussions on why. I am happy we're getting it. Like I said, it's not a game breaker, but I would be a liar if I said that I wasn't sad about it, because I would have loved to hear the English voice actors. But I do think there is some credibility in the theories that, for one, those are three full casts of characters they have to pay for voice acting. You know, pay the money, pay the money, 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 money. Isn't that how that meme goes? Money, 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 money. Let me get a stack of 20s here. But then the fact that the 3DS has a big install base, but the question is how much of that install base is still buying new games. And I can both agree and disagree on that subject, but I think a bigger factor is the idea that they have to pay 3 full casts, and I would imagine that would cost a bit. I mean, that's a lot of characters, a lot of freaking characters, and then you got all the Velvet Room residents. I mean, and assuming it's going to be like Persona Q1, well, even the brother of the that was in the P3P was even in it. Like, you have Theodore, Elizabeth, the twins, what was the P4 one called again? Damn it, I don't remember. Probably no Igor again now, but, yeah, I mean, this just, and then there's the villains. Kamoshida was shown to be, like, apparently past villains are gonna be taking, like, weird movie roles or some shit. So, there's just a lot of people they're gonna have to hire. So,
Where am I?
I could see it being costly. If I remember quickly, we've seen this backdrop in the original arena. If I remember quickly, this is how she left the facility, wasn't it? I think. Oh, I don't remember. I just remember the horrible experiments they did on her. Ugh. Terrible. To be honest, I wouldn't blame her if she became a villain and wanted to kill everyone.
Here? Wasn't I going through maintenance at Mitsuru-san's place?
I mean, like, seriously. They did some awful shit to her. I'm really sad they did not take advantage of her being in Q2. Hell, I was pissed that she wasn't in Q1. I was like, come on! You're bringing characters together. You couldn't somehow bring her into it? Come on! And now you somehow, again, bring the full cast of P3... Okay, I don't know the end or anything, and I don't want anyone to talk about the end of Q1. I don't know it, but all I know is the beginning, which they get taken during the those school festivals in Q1. So that's why both the main Kyoto and Shoujo are alive in Q1. So when I don't understand how the hell they set up Q2. It's like, again, they were torn, so there ain't a lot of time between having both of them alive. On top of meeting P4's cast again and P5's cast, and having the female lead Kyoto somehow, still unexplained how that's even a thing now. You still couldn't put Lapis in though, still. And also sad she didn't get to be much of a Kyoto in the new dancing games. There is a single dancing stage for her, but I wish they actually just made her extra and maybe include some more songs. You're still stuck in the Thor dungeon. Willie, I would have kept playing if it wasn't for the fact that I would love to do videos on it. But I don't have a good way of doing 3DS videos. And that's sadly a big shame. And considering things that have happened recently, because the mod law thing in Japan, because there were two primary people for modded 3DSs. A Japanese company thing, which is now a crime, so I'm pretty sure they're probably not doing that anymore. And then Loopy. Now, Loopy is where I got my DS capture card from. Now, he hasn't had 3DS capture cards for sale forever. Ever.
Oh, this must be a dream then.
So, it's really sad because I would love to buy one. But I just never see them for sale. You can get the stuff you need to mod it into a 3DS, but you have to do all the soldering and the modding of the shell and shit, and it's like, I don't know any of that. I don't know any of that, so it's a real shame because I really would like to buy one, because I have so many 3DS games I would love to do videos on. Like, I would love to do Persona Q right now, if I could.
I'm dressed like this again.
Yeah, she really likes that school uniform. I really like her whole story, though. I really think it was pretty good. Oh no. She's becoming self-aware like Dan does. She's gonna, like, be in total control of her dreams now. You know, actually, now that I think about it, wasn't one of the dancing areas in the Moonlight actually on appeal?
Guess there's no use doing something like that in a dream.
What would that even do in a dream? Yes, I love her English accent. I love it. Very good. Who does her voice acting, actually? Does she do any other characters? Because I do know there are some characters who do multiple characters, and they're really good at not really sounding the same. While in other cases, you got the main character for Persona 4 and Adachi, who are the same person and don't actually, like, really, when you pay attention, it's like, you know, actually, this is the same person.
So beautiful. If this really is a dream, maybe I can keep going.
It's amazing the fact that she didn't become a fucking monster wanting to kill everyone. Like, that amazes me, how she did not become a lunatic. Because I would not blame, like, she killed hundreds of her sisters. Like, you would think that would drive most people crazy. Because that was emotionally destroying her. probably don't get to do that very often. Countless lights in the darkness.
Now,
Oh.
where could this be?
Well.
It seems I have an odd guest. Oh?
Oh no. Is she gonna become a fool now? Oh no.
You're that misrepresent. No. Press stand? Ah, yes, Miss President. We met the other day.
She's just evading everyone.
Oh, hi. Thanks a bunch for back then. I didn't get to thank you properly at the time.
You faced yourself and overcame the ordeal through your strength alone. And the feelings of those at the scene certainly helped as well. Still, my assistance was merely the cake under the ice.
Under the ice? I don't know what that means, but this place is beautiful. Where am I?
This is a world within people's hearts. Since you're here, it's most likely that you are at rest in the real world. Now that you have gained a heart of your own and are nurturing it, I wouldn't be surprised if you were to wander here at times.
Oh no. How many people are going to... Getting too many people go into the Velvet Room for good. Oh no, it's the blue weirdo. The long blue weirdo! My master... Wait, how that song goes like... My master has a big nose. Or something like
That all
that.
sounds pretty complicated. What are you doing here, Elizabeth?
To put it as Frank would, it is a secret. But if there was something I could say about it, I am yearning for an unseen power.
Huh? You want power too? Even though you're insanely strong already?
Oh, all this talk of power has reminded me of something. It seems you have obtained a new power through that battle earlier. I do not mean to be rude, but my adorable personality cannot restrain my infinite curiosity for such things. Would you show it to me?
Huh? Wait. Hey, hold on now. Are you saying you want to fight me right this minute?
My, how could I have forgotten? A boisterous brawl in this place would certainly not be elegant.
I'm not talking about where we are.
Worry not. I will prepare a worthy stage at once.
Sometimes it's a miracle this Carol even can function outside the Velvet Room. It's just amazing.
Wait, you what? Huh?
Vavoosh! I didn't ask you to evade my dreams! Why would you take her here? Why would you take her here? This is just insensitive.
Oh, are you a bit shaken? My apologies, but it seems we're being pressed for time. Without further ado, here I come. Your fate is in the cards.
Well, here we go. First fight of the Persona 3 storyline. What was her tagline? See if it can see. It was the lethal elevator attendant. That's what it was. Yes, elevator attendant. Time to kick your ass.
Finally. Fight.
I see. Fantastic. Oopsie daisy. Oh my, impressive. Take this! Huh? Venator! Oh my. Oh my. Huh? Oh no. As I anticipated. Now,
Negative penalty.
oh my. The time has come. Impressive. Oh no. Impressive. Is this the extent of your strength? Impressive. Well done.
She didn't even put up much of a fight. I like how she's so nonchalant after she loses on the ground there. It's like, You know, I wonder what would a tag team style of this game would be like. They would probably have to do a lot of bouncing for something like that, though.
Well done. I have indeed witnessed the power you have acquired.
Have I? Have I gotten stronger?
Whether you can accomplish your wish and your heartfelt promise is up to you. If you can't do it, no one else will be able to do it for you. But from a different perspective, that means that anything is possible depending on you. Don't you think it could be perceived that way?
If I do it.
That is correct. Though, it would be most important to prioritize overcoming the ordeal that is coming your way.
Huh? What ordeal? Isn't this just a dream?
The ordeal that has made itself known quite close by. I bid you good luck.
It's like, yeah, something terrible is gonna happen. Bye, I gotta fuck off. Woo!
Wait, hold on. What's this ordeal you're talking about? What do you mean? Wait, you have to tell me more.
Goodbye. Good luck. Good luck. Good luck. Wow. We've been invaded. All personnel. Now, if you remember during the P forecast, now they left the maid in charge of the facility, so.
Good. You're finally up and running. Seriously, I am terrible with machines.
Oh, looky there. You know, it's kind of interesting they gave him a job. Because if you're familiar with P3, he was the merchant for weapons, and he was an officer. And apparently she does not know him yet.
So how about it? Can you move?
Who are you?
I'm Kurosawa, a police detective. Oh, do you know what a police detective is?
Man, their voices are being drowned out by the alarm. I'm not sure if you can hear them. Oh, thank you. Thank you for getting rid of the alarm.
Oh, are you with Mitsuru-san and them?
Something like that. I'll make this quick. There's an emergency. The car that the lady, that Mitsuru Kurijo was in, has gone missing.
Mitsuru-san? What do you mean?
We'll talk later. We need to get to the roof.
School uniform. Which actually brings the question, why is she still wearing it? Shouldn't she, like, get a new, like... I would assume it's just to be lazy, because they always have, you know, candle portraits with her wearing it. But... you think you would just get a new outfit, probably. Oh well. You know, I'd love to know, where are all these people getting these guns? Guns? You do not get guns in Japan by normal means, for good lord. Now, I guess for him, considering he got away with selling all kinds of shit, I don't even know how he got any of the weapons you get for, I guess, MP3. But, seriously.
Mitsuru-san, are Mitsuru-san and the others okay? Who took them?
Go quietly. We've got to hurry here. We were being pursued, too.
Was it really necessary to make the, like, weird motion? Is this weird necessary? I think the sound effects are just good enough to understand the running upstairs. I mean, I guess if you can't heal, I guess, but...
Enemies? Hey, I could...
Don't. The ones coming after us are human. On top of that, they're from public safety.
So that'll make them feel all the more comfortable when they see the helicopter fly off with her. It'd be like, yeah, shoot that down.
I know it has to be tough, but bear with it. That's how you live, by fighting.
Thanks, Kurosawa-san. Say, want to take a shortcut to the roof?
Hey! What are you...
Whether you think it's the best.
Here we go!
Whoa!
I'm trying to imagine whether she's just like boom, 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 or if she's just plowing through shit going up. So I guess she's like bouncing off the walls back and forth. How tall is this damn building? Is this like Final Fantasy VII syndrome?
You've got some nerve.
Sorry, but...
It's fine. Looks like I can trust you to get things done. Well, from here on, this is a battle that only you can fight. I'm putting their lives in your hands.
Good luck! Now get out there and destroy the world! Ooh, getting a lot of anime cutscenes here. Wait, who's the pilot?
Go on. Go now!
Gotcha! Okay! Kikuru-san, let's go!
Oh, the maid's the pilot. So wait, she went and got them forced and then came back and everything was a mess. Talk about lucky.
Looks like we managed to get away.
We got out in time. It's nice to meet you, Labras. I'm Yukari Takiba.
Oh, yes.
I'm Kanemata. Wow, so it's true that you're like Aiga's son.
He seems awfully happy.
Oh, and this is Koromaru.
Also, that brings up a question. Can she understand him?
Huh? A dog?
He's not just a pet. Koromaru might not look like it, but he can fight as well.
You know, this new data seems to be magical plot hole filling device. Perhaps there needs to be more androids like this. Quick! Just slap a disc in and everything will be explained.
Takeba-san? You're dressed in a kinda interesting way.
Huh? Oh, this? Yeah, I got picked up suddenly for my job, and I didn't have any time to change. I bet I'm never gonna hear the end of this. Also, you can just call me Yukari. I hope we get along, Labras.
But to think that organization would come after us now at such an important time. If Kurosawa-san hadn't gotten that tip, we'd be doomed.
Hey, right. What's going on with those guys? Who are they again? Public safety?
Oh, that's right. You don't know.
Now we got this information, if I remember correctly, near the beginning of the original Persona 4 arena. Though, it does bring up a question, how did they know something was wrong, though?
They say Mitsuru-san set everything up. She would never.
I can't understand it either. All this about honor and adult circumstances is foolish.
Yeah, but there are some people in public safety who don't agree with that. Or else Kurosawa-san wouldn't have gotten that anonymous tip.
Oh, that reminds me. I wonder if Kurosawa-san's okay.
Koromaru says that he's alright.
Huh? Can you understand dogs too, Yukari-san?
Well, no, but I've known Koromaru for a while, and that just seems like what he's saying. I'm sure Kurosawa-san will be just fine.
So I guess she doesn't understand. Well, I don't know. That the way she said that could be taken either I understood, you can understand too, or that whole database informed her that Aigus understands the dog, and that I don't know. I'm overthinking something.
So where are we going now anyway? We're gonna go look for Mitsuru-san and them, right?
Right. It looks like there was an increased shadow reading someplace called Inaba, and they were headed there. We'll go that way for now.
Inaba.
The ordeal.
Don't look so gloomy. I'm sure Mitsuru-senpai's fine. She's got Akihiko-senpai, Fuka, and even Aigus with her after all.
Well, apparently that wasn't enough.
Oh, right. You're Aigus' sister, aren't you?
Yeah, that's right. I was made just before her, though.
You seem so stiff. You don't need to be so polite with us.
I heard that you were an earlier model than Aiga's-san, but you don't seem less advanced at all. You seem perfectly normal. Do you fight with that axe you're carrying? Could I touch it?
What?
Yukari-san, have you been able to make contact with Iori-san?
Oh no. Oh no. They really went, like, they gave us some pretty nice detail. Like, they could have just made a very generic looking character. It's just kind of interesting they just made a whole new character. And they could have either been a generic character or just be just a, you know, disembodied voice.
I completely forgot. Hold on a sec.
And I think Dan left us again, so make sure if he comes back, we rub it in that he forgot, that he missed the maid again. We gotta keep this meme going here. The meme of Dan missing the maid must go on.
Saikawa-san, you're not a Persona user, are you?
Please call me Kikuno. And no, I only have the potential towards the Dark Hour.
The potential.
Oh, I didn't know you had that. Even the maids in the Kirijo family are amazing.
So that means you can't fight shadows, right? Then ain't it dangerous for you to come along?
There are more ways to deal with shadows than the direct method. We've never met in person, but I was involved in the operation to rescue you last time. We all do whatever we can to the best of our abilities to fulfill the roles we've been given. That is what it means to fight.
Wow, she's a true professional.
Oh, poor Ken-kun's getting all like, oh gosh. She's got nothing on those schoolgirls. I mean, the schoolgirl has got schoolgirl has got nothing on her. Yeah, she is being very concerned about her.
I'd see.
It's no use, he's not picking up. This is so important. Why now?
Well, because he's stupid. Come on, somebody's got to say the stupid joke. She said, like, what, 10 times during the main game? Come on.
Oh well, we'll just have to begin our search on our own.
You know, Kikuno-san, I'm surprised you knew where we were without having to contact us at all.
I traced the GPS signals from your cell phones. We're still partners with the police force, so it's no problem to do that in an emergency. Then again, we've just seen how even that doesn't always help.
You mean about Junpei-san?
It's like he's going out of his way to inconvenience us.
Well, I guess... Well, no. I mean, unless it's dead. I mean, even if he forgot the cell phone, they'd be able to track the cell phone, so...
Oh dear, I almost forgot. Labra-san, please review these documents until we arrive at our destination.
Classified.
Fuka-san asked me to tell you about this, but under the circumstances, would you please look through the material on your own? It's a summary of the activities that took place 3 years ago.
3 years ago? You must mean... I see. Whoever's behind what's going on is definitely connected to those events.
Okay, so for the time thing, so it says it's 3 years ago from now. So whatever year the end of... It's sometime at the end, after the ending of Golden. It's 3 years ago. We'd have to do some, like, head hunting for years and dates and stuff. But at least this ain't like Mega Man, where it's like, in the year 2XXX, and you can't actually figure out anything.
I think it looks good on you. A proper appearance is important when going out on a grand stage.
Apparently she's in the school uniforms.
Thanks.
No, it's probably because, I mean, the others wear school-style uniforms of those schools, so I guess it's also a little odd because she hangs out with the P3 cast.
Yukari-san, Ken-san, I have acquired evokers and suitable weapons for you.
Now, that's something I've wondered for quite a while, actually.
Wow, thank you. This would be the best for me.
I've wondered, because I don't think it ever showed the invocals in Persona Arena, the first Arena game. I've wondered if they grew out of needing the invocals or not. So they still need invocals to summon their personas. See, I talked to a friend on my thoughts on, I think the P4 and 5, I'm not sure between 4 and 5, but 4 and 5's protagonist teams, I think, are stronger than 3's because they were able to get their personas and control them better, where the P3 casts have to invoke them by force, making it because they didn't have to challenge shadows of themselves, and they didn't get forcibly hand a get free persona, don't have to deal with your mental issue card like the Persona 4 main character. So yeah, see, he doesn't just have a simple spear, he has one of those kind of spears that have a full out freaking blade on the end. Like, imagine using that kind of thing as like a freaking 12-year-old.
Kikino-san, what is this?
And apparently somehow she got that.
It's the ultimate arrow! It's so pink.
Wait a minute, wait, whoa, you know, I just realized something. In Moonlight, wait, I think we just found a plot hole, people. I think we found a plot hole. Now, when we started Yukatan's storyline, she said the Feather Rangers was new. In Moonlight, Ken, as his 12-year-old self, or whatever the hell age he is, which takes the cast from, like, before the end of the game, but it's obviously after Shojuro died, or however you say his name. Was it Shojuro? Man, I just can't remember. Look, point is, he knows what the Feather Rangers are. Now, I wouldn't call a show that's 3 years old new. Now, that's a personal opinion. You could share your opinions on that, but to think we just discovered big plot hole here. Somebody needs fired over this. Who didn't go over the script?
I acquired reference material from the publisher and had it made. Don't worry, it's more functional than the prop on your show.
I'm pretty sure that makes it the best bow ever created, but...
In actual combat, I thought that using a form factor you're comfortable with would be best.
Oh, I wasn't expecting you to have a logical explanation like that.
Was my arrangement unnecessary?
Yeah, it was unnecessary. No, it's fine.
She seems to take a little offense to that.
I like it. Can I see it for a moment?
We're circling around. Please hang on to something.
Mysterious dream. Kind of a shame she didn't get to go to the Velvet Room now. Bit of a shame. Well, deal, that's not good. They didn't even take the call. It's clearly night, as you can see in the windows, so they didn't even take the call. They just looted the insides and went off. But you think they wouldn't have... Yeah, and you think they would have contacted them too, but you don't think they would have just abandoned the driver. Exactly.
I hate to think about it, but does this mean that they've been captured?
Let us be optimistic and assume that they're still alive. If they were captured, then the enemy values their lives and will do no harm. We do have a chance.
You think they'd also try to question him, but I guess they did say he's unconscious, so... Maybe the great Maid-san. Summoner. Summoner. Maid-senpai. Maid-chan. Let's go with Maid-chan. Maid-chan can save him! I mean, the driver was a guy, wasn't it? Yeah, it did say it was a man. It said a man earlier. Maid-san? Nah, I think Maid-chan's Bill. Maid-chan. She definitely does seem like a competent person, though. She knows her job, and she knows how to do it well. And don't question it, because you might end up out the window. Wah! But the question is, how did they get one out of the car, leaving absolutely no trace of anything? I mean, I know we're dealing with a bunch of crazy people, but...
It's amazing that you know how to pilot a helicopter, Kikuno-san. I heard that it's hard to hover in the mountains. Did you train for that?
Only a couple of years ago. but I have taken part in an assault operation involving a helicopter.
You were in an assault with a helicopter? Where?
Just a high school dormitory.
What?
Huh? Oh yeah, I remember that.
I decided to learn how to pilot in the event that if someone attempted the same move, I would be able to respond properly.
Is that supposed to be a reference to something that happened in P3? Someone with a helicopter? I don't remember anything with a helicopter in Persona 3. But that's been like forever ago.
Oh, damn. Well, I finally got in touch with Junpei. I don't know why, but he's already at Yasuo Inaba Station, so I told him to stay there. In any case, we should head to Inaba too. We might find some kind of clue there.
Oh, well, he just miraculously ended up though. Whoop.
Whoever did this must be the same person who kidnapped Blabber's. It's unthinkable anyone else would be able to do that. The question is what he intends to accomplish by kidnapping them.
And now everything's gonna get killed switched. Oh, it's gonna be the opening. I got disappointed with the opening. The first one was better.
Tonight, we will witness the hottest battles in all history. The goddess of victory is waiting to descend upon the ring. P1 fans, are you ready? Are you ready?
Time to let loose an all-out war!
The contestants in the previous P1 Grand Prix have returned for another tournament, right on the heels of the last one. These warriors will create another legend here at the world-shattering P1 ring! These are battles of honor, battles of will. Sparks will fly. Some fight for pride, some fight for glory. Will this be decided by pure muscle, or will a battle of wits determine the outcome? Things are heating up! Tonight, who will win the title of champion? Who will be crowned with the winner's wreath? Whose tale of glory will resound for generations? All that remains are the dreams of the warriors. As the Grand Prix plunges into its final chapter, the P1 climax is...
Barely getting started!
Outlandish.
Hey, what was that just now? Weren't those the Persona users in Inaba? It showed Mitsuru-senpai and the others, too.
I'd be more concerned why everything is red.
I read the case records. If I recall correctly, was that the Midnight Channel that was being broadcast in Inaba? I was on it too, but it wasn't like that last time.
Yoo-hoo! Have you been well, Lobby-chan?
General Teddy? But I thought I already...
sandwich without the tuna.
He can hear us? Isn't he that weird Persona user named Teddy?
No, he must be the General Teddy who hosted the fighting tournament last time. The record said he'd been eliminated, though. General Teddy, where did you take Mitsuru-san and the others? If you don't give us a good answer, you're gonna pay!
It's past your bedtime, Cubby. If you're gonna keep giving me lip, I'm not going to explain anything.
Explain?
That's right. I mean, the three of you are very important guest stars in the P1 Climax, after all. So you'll participate, of course, right?
What? What are you after?
If you value the lives of the hostages, you yapping pup, you don't have any choice but to participate.
Huh?
The P1 Climax. It's the end of the world. One-on-one death match that's worthy of the name Climax. And best of all, if you don't win the one-on-one tournament to the finish within the hour, the world will end. No punches pulled this time.
Yeah, that's a bit of extreme now, Joe and Teddy.
I'll make myself clear so that no one misunderstands. This will not be taking place within the TV world. It will, in fact, take place in the reality which you occupy. Enjoy it while you can. Alrighty then. Time to show off how that special stage is going.
And yep. You know, it's weird that it shows them all together here, but then when we get there, they're all separated. Like, I mean, she's on the bottom floor, she was on the top, Akihiko was like in the music room, and I guess wasn't a recreation of the bridge area in Persona 3?
Was that Mitsuru Senpai?
No, it was just a statue. Of course it was!
Sonata-san, Iga-san, and Fuka-san too!
What will be the fate of our captured queen and her loyal minions? Oh, and this is a no-fly zone. We don't have any room in the parking lot for that thing, so you'd better start walking to the battleground. As a little incentive, Persona! Kintoki Doji! Throw him a tomahawk!
Wait, what? Did he actually do that?
An alarm? No. There really is a missile coming our way.
Whoa!
Evasive maneuvers. Brace yourselves.
A missile? Ah!
Are we hit?
It barely missed, but there's a good chance that it will still detonate.
It exploded! Wait, it's a firework?
I kinda wish there was a screenshot. I wish I could screenshot that. That'd actually be hilarious.
He obviously missed on purpose. It was most likely fired from the direction of Inaba.
That is not funny at all! Is he trying to start a war or something? Wait, what is that?
There's something in the distance. It's huge!
Oh, they must be seeing the towel. Yeah, they're seeing the towel. Persona, still one of my favorite puns. That's only an English thing now. I don't know if you're familiar with it, Dennis, but instead of saying bail puns in the Japanese version, Kuma, which is his Japanese name, had a I can't remember what the dialect was, but he has a unique dialect, kind of like how in Final Fantasy IX, Vivi in the Japanese version also had a very unique dialect on how he spoke. I can't remember what it was exactly, but he does not make constant bail puns like the English version does. That was one of the more drastic changes they did in the English version.
I'll zoom in.
Well, if I was them, I'd be like, that's bringing some terrifying memories back. I'd be like, yeah, that's some very terrifying memories right now.
No way. This is just like...
Tartarus.
I still think it's interesting that they use this as an opportunity to explain more about the Tartarus, like the experiments with Tartarus and that, which I thought was interesting. Maybe. I don't remember it exactly. Funny enough, the German version will actually... Let's see. The German versions of the dancing games will actually translated text in Germany. Only percent of the games that ever got German text. Really? That's a bit odd. That's a good thing you know English. See, I'd love to know, like, Japanese myself. That would be so useful to me, making playing imports so much easier. I would love to... If there was a second language I'd love to learn, it would be Japanese.
I'm sorry to do this, but I have to withdraw before we're shot down.
But we've come so far.
If they fire another one at us, I won't be able to dodge again. Even if it's only a firework, a direct hit can still bring us down.
Hold on, Kikino-san. Can you drop low enough somewhere so we can get out?
There's no way. If we land, we'll be sitting ducks.
No, once we're out, you'll get out of here. You don't need to land.
What do you say?
Please, do it. Don't worry. Remember, General Teddy asked us to come on foot. We'll manage somehow.
Understood. I'm looking for a landing site. There appears to be a large shopping center nearby.
And that's exactly... So far they've been accurate. But I have a funny feeling once we start getting to the actual tournament, it's just gonna flip all the situations.
Labra-san, please take this. It may be of use. It contains the data that was taken from the Ergonomics Research Laboratory's top-secret files. The creator's name is Shuji Ikutsuki.
Damn Ikutsuki. Damn him! Let's see... They made a cool joke with Stupa. they translated it as Dumbai, with dummy literally meaning stupid in German. Quite clever. You Dumpai! Doom? Do you have to emphasize the M quite a while, or just go Dumpai? Dumpai. Not actually bad. I mean, even with the English dumb, like, that's not even that bad either. Stupai, I think, does work better, though, but I do say I think it's not too bad either way. But interesting for it to literally mean stupid in German, though. I mean, that's basically what dumb means anyway, but... it's just a different way of saying it. So they land and the tournament officially starts.
The file name was Project Puppet Master. I'm not entirely sure if that's a code or a description of the project.
Puppet Master? Would that be something to do with me and Igus?
I was only able to decrypt a portion of it, but it seems to be data on an experiment involving a plume of dust.
An experiment with a plume of dust. So, why are you giving this to me?
It may assist you in determining the enemy's identity. Actually, I found traces of an unauthorized attempt to access this file from outside of the Ergo Research Network. I investigated this and found that the requests made to break in originated from this vicinity, likely from within Inaba itself.
Huh? So someone in Inaba knew about that research before all this started and was looking for it?
You know, I'm kind of feeling like maybe we should start with the, if it doesn't give you the option to, but I'm feeling like there's a lot more grounded beginning with the P forecasts opening here than the the P3's cast opening. There's a lot more better context at what's going on at the beginning of the Persona 3 cast and the Persona 4 cast. Let's see, but you don't get the option. I like that even more than Stupai, since Doompai is closer to the original. You know, actually, that wouldn't really surprise me, considering how Japan is with puns. I still don't really know who published the 3 and 5 dancing games. It wasn't Deep Silver. Now that's interesting, because Deep Silver did Q and Persona 5, right? They were supposed to be in charge of, ever since, who were they called? Was it Ghostlight? I think it was Ghostlight. And they became in charge of Persona in European territories. Now, interesting. I might have to look that up. I'm kind of curious if they lost. If somebody outbidded them or something. Because normally that's how that kind of thing works. When there's different groups that want to localize something, they sometimes will do a bid. So, they'll be like, okay, you bid the most, so we'll take the money, here you go. But they will publish Q2. Maybe Sega did it themselves, maybe. Maybe Sega has a European division, right? Because, I mean, Sega has been very popular in Europe for a good portion of its console life. And they're a very well-numbered system, so maybe, because I think Carter said when Sega bought them, he was hoping that would be a sign that Sega was going to do the publishing themselves, I think. So, that's kind of curious, I wonder. And then it was NIS Europe. That's Deep Silver. And maybe because it's a dancing game, and Sega has been doing a lot of dancing games. Lots and lots of dancing games.
The firewall prevented the intruder from accessing the file, but the attempted hacker didn't even try to cover their tracks.
What? Who would do this?
It was only in fragments, but the name Sho Minazuki appears many times in those files.
Who is he?
I'll contact you once we crack the encryption, but in case it becomes difficult to transfer the data to you, I'll give you a copy.
Then I'll download that data into myself and take a look at the parts that you've managed to decrypt.
That would be for the best.
Gotcha. Thanks.
And now everyone drop out. What? I wonder if we're gonna actually learn anything new about this.
We'll be over at Junes Shopping Center in a moment. Everyone, prepare to disembark.
Hold on, over there. Isn't there someone on the rooftop?
Let's see. A great time for Japanese. Yeah. I mean, Japan games, I would say there were some whiffy times during the last gen, but there was still some good titles last gen too. But yes, right now during the PS4 life, there's been some really excellent rise in quality in the Japanese market. It's just a real shame that Sony had to take a gun and be like, oh, Japan's having too much fun. We got toned down the fun a bit. Yep. Every day's kind of bloody in the sky at your June-ness. Wait, what?
That's impossible.
Huh? What's wrong?
It's Ikutsuki.
Huh?
What?
No way!
There might be something more to this. They're either seeing shit or there's something more going on here. Idea Factory just pumps out anime games like constantly. Whoa, what?
We're under attack by a persona.
The enemy's preparing for another attack.
Incoming! Little persona! Huh? What? I didn't even use my evoker yet.
Huh. You know, this is actually kind of nice. So the other characters actually haven't been needing their invoker, so they actually grew to a point where they can summon them without the invoker.
I'll make myself clear so that no one misunderstands. This will not be taking place within the TV world. It will, in fact, take place in the reality which you occupy. Enjoy it while you can.
This is fun.
Uh-oh.
What was that?
Yukari-san, he's winding up for another one. We're getting off, Koromaru.
that people and dogs can easily jump down.
It seems you're always taking on the responsibility of saving others, Yukari-san.
Seriously, it's like, again, really? But I'll take this one. After all, I save the world on a weekly basis.
Well, they went through a really horrible ordeal, so... Aw, the woo!
Yukari-san, everyone, please, save Lady Mitsuru.
Now, if this is gonna be like... If this is gonna fit in like Persona 4 story, then Noto-kun will be on the rooftop, but the thing is, they didn't see Noto-kun. So far, it's quite different. I mean, being at Junes is the same, but they didn't mention anything about seeing Akutsuki.
Where did he go?
Hey, Ken-kun, did you really see Ikutsuki here a moment ago?
Yes. I didn't see him clearly, but there's no way I could have mistaken him.
That's impossible. I mean, Shuji Ikutsuki is...
Yep. Died from being a douchebag. The douchebaggery was too much for him. It was like cancel. It ate his inside. No, he just fell off.
At the very least, it looks like he's not nearby. We can't let our guard down yet, though.
Koromaru and I are going to continue looking for him. If that really was Ikutsuki, there's no doubt that he's involved in this case.
See, some years ago, I played the big Japanese releases, but since the PS4 Vita era, I'm really dwelling deep into the niche. Yeah, I have a good number of imports for the Vita and the PS4. It's been nice not having to worry about region-locked crap. I still get a lot of older imports, too. Like I said, I got the Christmas Nights in the Dream. I'm really excited to get a copy of that.
That's true. Can you and Koro-chan go after that guy from earlier?
But that person seemed to be using a persona. Won't it be dangerous for you two going off on your own?
Well, they are two Persona users.
Don't you worry about me and Koromaru. Even if we run into something we can't defeat, we'll find a way out of it.
And honestly, it's faster for us to split up. I am a bit worried, but I'm gonna believe in you guys.
Let's see, if I could read Japanese, I'd play Sega Sound games all day, every day. Oh, I know, it could be tough depending, especially with RPGs. It could be tough if it's one of those convoluted RPGs where it's like, oh, you need to talk to this one guy in the furthest back house with, like, he's the most generic looking NPC of that, but you have to do a dialogue with him to trigger a flag to continue the story of that. Like just, or will you have to really do really strange flagging, like talking to this person and this person, like stuff like that can make it really difficult to get through a Japanese RPG when you can't understand it. It can be annoying. It's just a straight. It's a pretty straightforward RPG. It's not too bad then. But it just can be really annoying when it has a lot of annoying flags to continue progress in that. But luckily some games also work out.
So I'll head to the station to get Junpei. It didn't seem like he'd figured out the situation yet.
Yeah, he's probably lost. English release for Saturn about 250. Japanese release nearly 5 times that. Wait, whoa. Which release are we talking about exactly? Like what particular game? Like, did you mention it? I didn't see you say let's see, what is supposed to be quite easy to play since it works with symbols a lot. That title doesn't really. What game is 250 in Japanese, 250 in English, and 5 times that? Oh, all Saturn games? Total numbers. A lot of Japanese Saturn games are pretty cheap. I'm not sure what Japanese versions you're talking about 5 times as much. I mean, I'm sure there are some whale games. There are whale games in Japan. But usually most RPGs are pretty common. Like the Panzer Dragoon RPG game. I got the Japanese version, that complete pristine condition, for like $5 in Japan. While it's like a fortune in English. Numbers of... Oh, you mean how many people bought them. I get you. You're talking about system sales.
Weren't you talking to him on the phone earlier?
I get you. You mean system sales. I thought you were talking about price value for something. In total over the... Oh yeah, there were a lot of Saturn games in Japan. Okay, so you're not talking about system, you're talking about how many games. Okay, I'm getting the context here. We're getting somewhere. Yes, that doesn't surprise me at all. There are a lot of Japanese Saturn games. There are a lot of good Japanese Saturn games with really good 2D art. That was one of the things that the Saturn was notoriously known to be better for than the PS1. Much better sprite. Like, something in the processing allowed it to make the sprites look better than the PS1. So it was renowned for doing that. But sadly, the PS1 still won in the end.
I was, but that idiot's phone ran out of batteries or something while we were still talking.
Yeah, I know. The Twitch delay. We got it straightened out. We got the Twitch delay.
But even if I can't rely on him to keep his phone charged, he's still good in a fight. So I have to meet up with him.
I see. He seems like kind of a goofball.
He is.
Right? He's always been so useless. Huh? Did I say something funny?
Nah, not really. It just sounded like you were actually kind of fond of him.
Oh, I guess so. Yeah, I think you're right.
That annoying, evil Twitch delay. Damn you, Twitch delay! But, yeah, honestly, and it's really easy to play imports on a Sega Sound. You can get these memory expansion things to increase your space for saving, but there was one, at least when I got mine, they were cheap. They may have gone up in price, it's a possibility. I'm not sure what the price of them, but there was one that allows you to play imports. Now, it isn't perfect. I do think there's a few games that don't work properly still, but it does make almost all imports work with Japanese. I don't think it lets you play PAL. I don't think, because of the different television television frame thingy-abob things in Europe, but for Japanese imports though. But there are a few that do have a few little problems with it. The other problem is also those games that need that unique RAM card that gives the system more RAM. And since you can't have that in the import thing in at the same time, those ones are also incompatible because you need the RAM card. Though there might be a way to maybe mod that. But there was only like a few, like that really awful Final Fight fighting game that's notorious. That thing needed it. That's considered a really bad game. I wonder if that costs a lot though. It probably does, because I think that was like one of the last Japanese releases for the Sega Saturn. And I think it had a very small print one, so that actually might be a costly title.
What about you, Labras? What'll you do?
Huh? I hope Mitsuru-san and the others are okay. Could you please go right to that tower? We'll head over there too as soon as we can.
Right!
See, most European Saturn games can be played in 60 mode via hardware mod. The mod, my sound. But does that allow you to use the memory card thing that allows you to play imports, though? I don't know. I'm not really familiar with it from a US PAL or Japan to PAL stance in that regard. I mean, that's definitely still the generation time where the TVs were still completely different, so I'm not really sure if they will work with it. 1 and 2 are one of the only games that will correct for 50. So playing them in 60 results in the wrong picture aspect. I feel really bad for PAL retro people. I really do. They do, really. Well, that's good to know then. So if you got PAL, you could throw those with it too then, I guess. I wasn't aware of that. I don't have any PAL stuff when it comes to cartridge retro. Now, I do have okay, make this simple. The oldest system thing I have a PAL copy of is a PS1 game. And that was that high school fighting game that Capcom had.
It's decided then. Labras, you head to that tower. Oh, also...
See, if you don't mod your console here in Europe, every import plays at 50. Even US and 50. So, that's interesting. So the system actually adjusts it then. So you can use the import card in a PAL system, put a Japanese game, and it just does what it needs to do. That's interesting. That's actually very interesting, because I know with a lot of the cartridge games, almost none of them are compatible. Like, you can't usually put PAL, like PAL Super Nintendo in a US or Japanese Super Nintendo or vice versa. That doesn't really have a lot. I think there are a very small handful of Genesis PAL games that actually can be made to work, I think. Yeah, for the Sega Saturn. That is very interesting, though, which makes me wonder about some of the other CD technology consoles of that time. It makes me wonder. But, yeah, for the cartridges, as far as I understand, mainly for the cartridges, you're pretty much completely screwed in regards to that for almost everything. See, if you don't have the hardware mod, every import will play with the import code. So, yeah, that's interesting that it will actually adjust that. So it'll downgrade it. That's interesting, because normally with cartridges it just wouldn't work. Because like if you take like a PAL Super Nintendo game, you're just gonna get a black screen.
Something felt off when I summoned my persona earlier. You might want to be careful.
You felt it too? It was like, well, It felt like the evoker wasn't working, didn't it?
Yeah, it might be that we can summon our personas without our evokers.
In any case, we should get moving. If what General Teddy said is true, we don't have much time to spare.
Mm-hmm, got it. If anything happens, let's meet at the bottom of the tower. Be careful, both of you.
You're doomed. So yeah, this is totally playing out different here. So yeah, I'm not really a fan of this.
Mitsuru-san.
I'm not really a fan of the let's change. Like, I don't mind a different perspective, but I don't like it. It's like, see, like the whole thing with Natakun didn't happen, so now you get the problem of what's canon? Is this canon? Is that canon? What's canon? I don't know what's canon at all. What's canon?